The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
No. For the pyrobat tank.
I love that stuff.
We probably should use napalm on the base. It's the best way to clean everything.
I'm getting a little. He's got a paint. Skimbalka's just got this painter's mask on. He's like, I'm starting to feel a little dizzy for the fuse. Put the mask on. But the rubber bands ruined my hair.
Get a rash
So is that
around
the plan
here.
then? We blow up the base.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
But what if there's people inside?
What about the orphan souls?
Well, no, the Undertaker has those. Those no longer have any bearing to do with what is with the base at all.
Yeah, they're currently housed in the Graveyard of Sorrow.
Okay.
Sounds like a great place.
Well, one of the best Metallica songs was made there.
So we've basically lost everything we had at that base.
Yes.
I do want to go down and make sure George isn't sort of still there in the garage.
Of course he is.
So, I want to make like an explosive
Okay.
that just... Because it is a bunch of interconnected shelters, right?
Yeah.
So I want like a big explosion.
Okay.
That will basically eradicate everything inside the base, but not go through the
You're
shell.
talking about a fuel air bomb.
Mm.
They use them for disease control.
That's basically what we're
That's
doing.
just going to wipe out the surface, right? It won't actually dig
No, you
down.
will have to put it in the base.
You have to put it in the base.
We also have to go inside the base to check if there are any other survivors.
I don't think they're survivors at this point. Just casualties.
So, yeah. Anybody in there is probably infected, so if we rescue them and take them out, we'll just be taking out the...
He did seem to be in the process of turning people. He might have had a supply.
Or they could have been the last one. We have to go in and check any way to put in the bomb. But
The paper today might tell us if anyone was taken last night. There were a lot of people in the walls.
we'll check the paper. Can I have like a brighter light for this?
Yes, you can.
There's my popcorn as I just sit until Ray reads the paper part of the book.
One's the extra copy that he usually gets.
Oh,
I was like, there are two. Desmond, disarmed, visits orphans. Desmond, the Christmas bear, lovable new Christmas mascot, beloved by all, arrived with his Alvi, at the Rexon orphanage with gifts, food, and good cheer. The toys were distributed while Desmond capered and danced for the children. The Alvi dug a pool for some reason. Desmond, the Christmas bear, has been spotted all over the city, making this the most celebrated, happiest Christmas ever, according to polls.
The Swiss are not so sure.
So you're reading this and just slowly crumpling this paper in your hand.
Aegis abandons Black Knight persona. Power Core member Black Knight has long been suspected of being Aegis, and it seems this has been confirmed as the naked man fought another mutant freak, a young girl, probably trying to rape her. How can this bastard call himself a hero? Citizens be ready to kill mutants on sight. Even the heroes are rapists. Tide of vomit. A wave of green washed out of an apartment building in the Russian bloc. The tidal wave is reported to have been almost 1 inch to 3 inches deep, depending on who you ask. Russians are gross.
I can't believe that they're Russian.
Pixel Watch. The gaming scene has been rocked to its foundation with the arrival of 2 new players playing across several games. Human K8 and 3MPR 3SS have destroyed established heavy hitters such as Oberon, 1337, Darth Ruderer, Boba Fett, and Heisenberg. Gaming expert Lyle Lowell, proprietor of the Deck of Many Things, has no answers, but has reportedly been trying to wrangle them for an upcoming tournament. He reports that 3 MPR 3SS has outright refused, but did offer to play the winner. Arrogance? Oh crap. Despite their high presence, they're nowhere to be seen. They didn't even turn up to the fight between Black Knight, who has lost his suit and returned to the Aegis persona, and his team. However, it is reported by sexy reporter May O'Reilly that Desmond talked the rampaging mutant down and carried him off. The DMV report that the Black Knightmobile was seen being driven by Desmond the Christmas Bear, so Crap can't do anything, but the lovable, cute, adorable, fluffy mascot can stop a rampage and take the murder mobile away from a killer mutant. Good job, lovable Desmond. Boo Crap. When will Crap stop living up to their name? Oh.
Desmond's gonna have.
We're finally getting good riff. We're finally.
I'm not associated with you. I'm getting good rip.
Desmond is getting good riff.
I wonder how much hip I've got.
Publicly announce that you're joining the power.
When you go there, you have to. It's separate Black Knight from Desmond the Christmas.
And Desmond the Christmas Bear can only be spent on lovable, huggable Christmas things.
Those are lovable guys to your gadgets.
Filthy mutant cunt harassing her own kind. Worthless mutant slip and slide Miranda Lewis has been on a tear since yesterday, brutally interrogating mutant suspects apparently desperate to find Aegis. A burly mutant suspected of being Black Knight too. Is she so thirsty for a new cock to ram into her oozing snatch that she has to go hunting for the criminals she hasn't caught yet? What the...
It's getting so bad.
What the fuck? How can you print that?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is you can't. Really.
What the fuck?
I'm going to report this to the government.
I think the government... Hey, government! Mr. President, this is...
No, they'll be like...
Newspaper doesn't like a mutant clunge!
No, it's just the language they're using, honestly. I don't
Oh, no,
care
that's fine.
the
It's
subject.
legal in the state.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Pterodino mutant cure confirmed. Dwight Masterton, CFO of Pterodino, fronted press last evening, joyfully confirming the progress made on a military co-development of GeneWash, the project name for a mutant cure. I am very pleased to announce that the project has advanced significantly. It is looking very viable. We expect some real results soon. Finally, the scourge of the world can be cured. Spandau to shelter in Cold Rocks. Felix Spandau, international Moles champion, Keepsman, has signed a 3-year deal with the Cold Rocks Hardbacks, replacing outgoing Keepsman Jeff Larson. Goodman Freakazoids deftly defeated. Crap, in conjunction with the United States Army, have brought down several sad victims of Dr. Goodman. Horrible mutates caused by a mutant who spurned his chance at redemption. They are to be examined at the Cold Rocks Hold. Creepy cult kills Pre again. Rogue figures have been spotted fleeing a location in Crowshaw following a ritual sacrifice-style murder, complete with stone slab and dribbly candles. Beloved franchise finds new home. Star Wars, the beloved film trilogy and books, has been purchased as part of the sale of Lucasfilm to Disney, the even equally beloved family franchise. New Star Wars movies have been scheduled for annual release. Like 50 of these fuckers, no matter how they're received. 2 scoops.
Damn it, it's happened.
Yep.
Star Wars was still good in our universe. Now it isn't.
Well, it won't be.
Oh, now you're going to stop humming it during like, epic battles where you're shooting big
They
guns.
haven't made a bad one yet, so she will be excited.
Oh yeah,
I'll
I'll go. I'll be there. I'll be there. The popcorn and the.
Like the same way people were excited for Phantom Menace. Like,
You know what's fucking weird? I was there. I worked at the theater.
yeah,
I was at the pre-show.
yeah.
We watched it and we're like... It's alright. It's not great, but... people... It's got lightsaber fights, people will watch it. People ate that fucker up.
Yeah.
They did! It wasn't until they'd had some... Because it's been like... Thirsty Star Wars drought. Here's some Star Wars for you.
Yeah.
It looks and sounds like Star Wars, right? Woo!
Tricks you for.
And then it's like about a month later, people started going.
Yeah.
That sucked. Well, the main thing people were like, "What the fuck?" The problem was Jar Jar. Other than that, it was great. And then they're like, I think about it, and it's not. It was Attack of the Clones that got horribly received. It's like people were just coming out of that going, fucking sucks. And I wasn't there for the third one. I mean, that's just a sample size of one 5-theatre Cineplex where all 5 fucking things were showing Star Wars at the same time.
That was in a rugby town.
Yeah, that was in a rugby town.
Yeah.
And, you know, fanboys is like, so long as there's some lightsabers going, they're happy.
Well, when they did the re-release of the trilogy, they had a thing where they ran all of the old...
I know, I was there for that.
Yeah. And everybody that was there was like super fucking happy and loving it.
Even if it was the special editions. So you got the occasional murmur of boo.
I mean, I'd be happy enough to see, like, A New Hope in the cinemas, even if it was special edition. Because, like, I've never seen that before, right?
You've never seen A New Hope?
In
No,
cinemas.
Big screen.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we can just rent 100-inch. And I'll play it. I've got a despecialized edition that you'll love.
Yeah.
Sit close enough to it, it'd be just the same.
Anyway. So you make your bomb. You head to the thing.
Burning Sands entrance, I guess.
Yep, you drive down into it and you park. Get out.
Yep.
You're all there.
Yep.
There's the door.
Do I know if aspirin can be taken preemptively to that shit?
No, it cannot.
I cannot.
You have to take it.
I'll give
when it's in
everyone
you.
some amount of aspirin. Like a little pill ball.
You take 5 extra minutes and quickly whip up some plastic Pez dispensers with like Black Knight heads
Yes!
on them, that are sized for aspirin.
Yes.
I'm disappointed
And
about Ted.
And now
That is not
mysteriously-
canon.
What?
I could
just makes
dispense
this-
a lot with one of these. Puts in belt.
What?
Make little peyote tablets.
I don't think it works that way.
We're going
You have to crush it up to burn it.
You open the door.
Yeah.
The lighting is dim beyond. The base emergency systems have kicked in, so the normal, regular, easy to see by lighting is off, and the red intermittent spinning lighting, which just makes life hard for everyone, is on. You light up.
Okay.
It's daytime.
So what does it look like now?
It looks fine. There's a hall. There's some doors. You can tell the red lights are still going, even though he's got his like 60 million lumen helmet.
So there's
lamps
not
on.
like gooey, horrible, disgusting crap everywhere?
It's dry.
But it was...
You can't tell that.
Okay.
This place looks
The
clean.
place is clean.
This is... You said this place was full of...
He didn't come to this entrance.
I haven't been in from this side.
So you
Okay.
proceed to the interior lock
Yep.
and you open it.
Yep.
Gamer gave you the code, so yeah, you'd know that. The doors grind open, and beyond is the base. The emergency lighting is on, but that's no longer relevant. For the entrance you've come into, the chest freezer is humming quietly to itself, keeping the ice cream frozen.
Ice cream's at Black Knight's place, isn't it?
No, you only took 3 tubs there.
Some of it was there, yeah, some of it was...
So specific. Was this one of the... Was this the main one?
It's the chest that's in front of the secret entrance that leads down to the below. You know, where the Orphan Soul engine was?
Right.
Why didn't we keep using that?
It fell down in.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real space.
Okay. We'll keep going forward. Because it's just fine, right? Like, it's just
the
about...
base appears to be completely ordinary.
Okay. Is there any way to turn off the emergency lighting from...
You have to go into the generator room and
Take that.
someone's opened the Neapolitan and eaten all the chocolate.
Just the chocolate, yeah.
It was you. I like chocolate.
Soviet comes back into the rest of the group and there's just this ring of vanilla around.
Really?
What?
This isn't exactly the time, but
Oh.
We keep progressing through the base.
I can't
It's
sense.
all fine.
all
Nothing has ever happened here.
You know, I can't sense or detect anything.
Main
but
room's
that's
just
how things
laid
turn
out like it was.
I'll turn off the emergency lighting.
You go into the generator / Xander computer room and you like put the key in and you turn the base back into normal power, and lighting is restored.
Are you sure you didn't take a wrong turn or something? You got
To the other
delirious?
base next door, belonging to the blocks
No, but
flower.
if it was like completely covered in like gooey shit, then
there was no way. All of our stuff, I pointed all the stuff, was piled up over there.
are you sure you weren't
Let me roll Black Knight.
hallucinating it with your
Memory.
what you got stabbed with?
Memory, straight memory.
As far as I was aware, I was stabbed after I encountered the first.
+5 bonus for Eidetics.
It still sucks.
Okay, I'll have it. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you.
I can't even get my fucking fingers in this thing. Jesus.
Use your normal fingers.
Get bigger hands.
No, smaller.
Smaller hands, you fucking
No,
mom.
because you get longer fingers.
That's not how that works.
Anyway, you get to re-roll, I believe.
Sure, I was waiting for the flavor to kick in. It tastes like nothing.
Cool.
There's nothing flavored beans,
That also
It is every
sucks.
flavor.
including
17.
You remember that there's a lot of integrated security anti-tamper technology in the holocom. So if it's moved, it would blow up.
Yeah,
But if it had been piled up in the center, it would have been moved.
yeah.
So it would have blown up. But it's fine.
I will.
Let's check the stabby wounds from the syringes still there.
Yeah.
No, there's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You've got to look at a little Mickey Mouse band-aid over there. And that one, and a little Dora the Explorer band-aid on that one. From Black Knight's really gay medicine kit.
Charles buys what he buys.
Yeah. They're cheap.
He's gonna put some color into his life somewhere.
Nothing in this room was ever moved.
I don't understand. I was definitely attacked before and saw the secret entrance part before I was stabbed by Goodman, but I don't know, it could be.
Could you have been mind affected in some way? And
But he was still infected with the syringes.
yeah,
Could it
And
be?
even beyond that, his recollection of things that happened are things that are possible if Dynamite powers being used. It's not like he wouldn't have. He has no way he would have been able to imagine the very specific things that happened that are totally plausible. You understand what I'm saying?
yes. Well, I'm just wondering if some illusion was put up to make this place look worse than it was in order to prevent anybody who came down here from going in further, like an ordinary person.
I'm gonna head through towards like the plastic advisory board. Oh no, the subway entrance that he said was melted all the way through.
If it was an
There
illusion.
is a crack running the width of the ceiling. But there's no evidence of anything else that he reported.
If it was an illusion, I didn't use the Raven's power to see through it, so I don't know, it could have been.
Do these things have an ability to just totally clean?
Well, Soviet raises an interesting point. Stuff. Dispel illusion, just to make sure that we aren't currently seeing one.
Dispel illusion.
12. Magic roll? 31.
The crack disappears.
I don't know what that means.
And since you've used Dispel Illusion on in an unwatered area, the hidden door behind the chest freezer is now visible. It is no longer concealed with the illusion spell.
So that it affects the entire base, right?
With a roll that high, the radius would have been pretty severe.
And like,
And since your base is currently only partially watered,
yeah.
it would go right food.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna walk around the base and see if there's any like residue or anything left, or if like the communicator was an illusion.
No.
Or if there anything else happened to be illusions
Everything
from any
else
other
appears to
adventure.
be the way it's supposed to be. Until you get to the mid bay.
Okay.
And then you see that you have been under the guise of an illusion for a while, or you think that must be the case, because the interior of the mid bay does not look how you remember it, although it is laid out the same way. The cabinets are still there, although they are not medical cabinets. They're strange cabinets. There are, like, cult-like ritualistic things laid out where there used to be medical equipment, and they look like they've been there a while. Basic forensics will tell you that. There are instead of beakers of like neatly labeled chemicals inside cabinets and such, there are vials and jars containing human parts, blood, goo, weird shit. Small amount of purple fire is burning away in there.
Is it possible?
A still moving hand.
I think Goodman
And
might
something
have
that
been-
looks like this.
What?
So maybe Goodman hasn't been in town, he's been here.
Part of his multiple personalities, for lack of a
Are there
better
any
term.
books?
Is an Edomite worshipper?
What do they contain?
You can't read them.
Does he at least recognise what type of...
Ah, that's better.
I wonder if somebody in Mr. Sato's department might.
Yeah, we'd best take this anyway and then destroy everything else.
Can anybody tell how long this might have been here? I mean...
You've all dealt with... give me a symbology roll. If you don't have like symbology or heraldry or anything like that, then a memory check will do.
Have I been around long enough to make a check?
14.
Not even looking. Rolling a 1, sitting there overlooking at the purple fire in the jar.
I got 26 on a memory check.
The cover of the book is branded.
I have languages though.
What languages?
I have like the language. I just have like
like linguists.
yeah.
Linguistics.
Yeah.
That won't help.
Okay,
us.
cool.
Well, I have the skill, can read all languages, and
She can't read this.
Okay.
Because I believe your read all languages is limited to languages of this dimension.
limited to things in my experience.
And I don't think you've experienced this.
Yet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though, if it turns out... Okay, so the symbol on the front cover of the book, which appears to be made of human skin, you would think. I mean, it could be some other kind of skin, like pig, but you would think that it would be human
That's
skin.
human skin.
It is got 5 crown shapes on it, arranged in a pentacle pattern. And in the center there is like a slit cat eye style thing with lines leading to the crowns, and which you recognize as being one of the symbols for an Edomite cult that you crushed in the future. Also in the future, like in 2016.
Yeah.
And what that cult was a bunch of who here's played a Lasombra?
I think so, but I think I've heard of it.
So the body sculpt ability. They were basically flesh morphers. They created abominations and twisted people
Like
around.
I haven't
Masquerade.
played one, but I'm familiar with dealing, going up against them, and them doing that. Tavis
Tavis
destroyed
crushed those.
one that was supposed to be like a
Yeah.
fucking boss for us.
And the thing
We
is,
soloed him.
in absolutely every Vampire the Masquerade thing, they always wind up being the bad guys.
Because they're literally the bad
They
guys.
are like an evil.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
House,
yeah,
basically.
they also sculpt the different levels of minions to throw at a campaign.
So anyway, yeah, that's what they did. That's where you've seen this before.
Do I know where their base was?
Yeah, you do. It hasn't been built yet.
Fuck!
If you
But
just
you
build
know
it,
where it's going.
I know it's
Possibly
going to be.
though.
You first found your clues at this place near the steam plant.
The place we tracked Goodman to, right? It's like opposite the steam plant.
Alexa, put a halo around my head while I look innocent.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. Because you didn't say computer.
It's also
D-Mike.
I'm also off.
it's also in Steven mode.
Oh, Cortana?
The laptop has Cortana on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it chooses to respond even though I set it to not listen. Because it doesn't listen to that.
it's good.
Carry on.
Okay, so I've dealt with this cult before. Well. Yeah, anyway.
You're going to deal
I'm
with this
going to
cult
deal with this cult
before,
before, yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So,
Believe me, it comes normal after a while.
I've gotten used to it already.
Carry on.
so, you know the place where, opposite the steam plant, we tracked Goodman to?
Yes, that we didn't enter because he's also come up with that thing that can melt through your suit.
That's where they were based before the hideout I destroyed was built.
So maybe
Wait, so it didn't ring any bells for you at the time that this was also in the same place?
No, because the growth of the Edomite cults was different then, and Goodman was never related to them.
So it's probably the same place, just you didn't find out about it, what it was before it changed.
Yes.
Do you think Goodman... He wasn't related to them in your...
But he was burnt with Edomite fire,
Hmm.
so he might have gone to another cult to deal with that.
So, do you have any speculations as to why Goodman would have possibly suddenly become a cult worshipper if he wasn't in your usual timeline?
maybe he just found out about them in this timeline.
Well, I'm just wondering, did he stumble across them or... I don't know.
Yeah. The cults sprang up later, and Goodman wasn't in the time period they were for very long.
Oh.
Because we continued to deal with other threats first because we thought the cults were something that would just go away. That was part of the problem. Just a joke.
I'm sick of worshipping the Dark Lord Satan. Let's go back to the Catholic bake sale, everyone.
But like, what has the Dark Lord Satan even done for you?
Everything. For that,
And they're like, oh no, there actually are Edomite kings, and they do exist, and they are trying to get into our reality. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
do you want to be stuck with the whole worshipping God thing? Then yeah, you kind of owe the devil one.
Do you remember the names of any of the people who were part of that cult?
Yeah, Lester A. Arthur, Roger B. No! Who remembers cult members individually?
do you remember?
No, I mean like leaders.
Do
More
you remember
like.
the names of the leaders of the Llama Dome?
No.
God, I don't even.
I have written.
It's fine.
Nobody cares!
I might have if it was this season, but because it isn't now, I don't remember.
You kind of just destroy a cult group and then move on to the next one.
Okay. So there wouldn't be any point like tracing some of Dr. Goodman's, if he's even got any friends, or to these names of these people and seeing if there's any links.
No. Although, if they are using illusion to this level,
Well, I just think the biggest problem we have here, and the first thing we need to deal with, is this container of fire.
I don't know how to deal with a container of fire.
Yes, I don't think we're qualified to deal with this, but it's probably the most dangerous thing still in here.
Wait, can Dr. Goodman even do this? If you know what I mean? Like, perform this illusion? Does he have that capability?
Unless the power's been granted to him, which you wouldn't think because they shouldn't be that far along.
No, he naturally couldn't. If the processes were further along, he would have power granted to him that could make him do this.
So,
but someone else would be performing this.
So, other words, yes, he must have some other ally who's part of this who is that way inclined? Who's
Probably
magical
in the cult.
in some kind? And
Well,
linked to the cult?
I mean, the last cult we had to deal with was essentially a crazy homeless guy that was granted powers.
Hmm.
So isn't that what the Edomite Kings are doing now? They're granting powers to people, and
I'm just
They
saying
can
there's
only
somebody
grant-
else who's been down here besides Goodman who's part of this.
They can't just grant powers to people, otherwise they'd be through already. There's a really long process that involves reaching out through dreams, and then pulling people into performing rituals, usually through human sacrifice, before even the smallest drop of power can get out.
So, like Goodman has been doing.
Yeah,
Could this be related to Aegis?
that would be related to Aegis.
Well, because they had this very brief alliance when they were both evil, and Aegis made some kind of wish with that Wishmaster guy. Now, is it possible that the power he got was Edomite and original?
he
They
did.
just
in
mentioned
origin.
something about the cleansing too.
Yeah, he mentioned a religion, and
It
Yeah.
did
Oh.
seem fanatic.
So I have this bomb. Do you want to just blow up the building Goodman's in?
Will it
That was
limit itself?
No, that wasn't a real suggestion.
That was yeah, sudden and
okay. Question: if I try, is it possible to astral project all the way over to the mage building? It's a very distant.
I don't think you'd be able to get into it.
No, but I can at least tell
Knock
them
on
that
the
we have a
outside
problem
door.
and what would we do to get.
Does that work? Did the Doujin turn that off too? So I'm gonna put this bomb in engineering. I'm just gonna leave it there.
We might need it.
I might need to remotely destroy the space.
Okay, you put it in Xander's computer.
Can he get a signal down in here if he wanted to remotely detonate it, or is it part of the
No.
shield? And
it's easy because Xander's computer's got this Droppo hatch that you just open it up and you
yeah,
it's big enough to fit a Droppo inside if he wants to smuggle his way.
Or two kids.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dropper. Just be glad you don't know.
Yeah.
He will.
if you were willing to drive really carefully, maybe we could transport this somewhere safer.
Like to Kaibaku.
So the purple fire is basically pure cathothic energy.
Yeah.
We don't know what can extinguish that safely.
It also occurs to you
Or
that
use it.
knowing about this whole thing is a crime.
Also, I think we may be arrested the moment we show up with all of this. Because the Edomites are a very closely guarded secret by the upper echelon of the Magic Council.
Gotcha. So we need to go directly to the Archmage because
He's handsomer than the rest.
Yeah.
and as this is a threat to the planet, this is kind of his bag.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, just pass me the phone, I'll call him.
There's a phone on the wall.
I was being serious.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
I mean, unless you have a way to contact the Archmage.
Meanwhile,
please let
on
me
the
know.
TV right now. Magical matters. Need to contact the Archmage. 1-800-BIG-GAY-CLOAK. That's 1-800-BIG-GAY-CLOAK.
Wait, that was too many numbers.
There's not a 5-5.
It's not.
Oh, if you include area code and
There's no option to call collect.
Do you have a way to contact the Archmage?
Well, I'm sure we could probably get through to him, but I mean, I don't want to risk putting this anywhere near George or going anywhere with George, and I kind of don't have any transport of my own anymore.
Oh, what happened?
Well, it got stolen, but they put it in a truck or something.
So you just claimed insurance?
No. Do I look like I have insurance?
No, you actually look like a magic pixie girl right now.
Everyone
Like
should
girl
have
Harry
insurance.
Potter.
I bought the thing for $50 when I got here. The insurance would probably cost more than the vehicle.
That's how insurance works.
Yeah, kind
Oh.
of.
I don't even have a
didn't
car, but
you
I would
get-
get
I mean,
insurance.
you're under 25,
$100 from-
female,
It-
in a delivery
It was stolen
job.
yesterday.
Oh wait, no, you work for a newspaper and are classified as a reporter, which is considered a hazardous job. Your premiums would be so much, they'd effectively be saying that they expect you to write it off 11 times a year.
How much would you need for your vehicle?
Maybe I'll just look for something else that's cheap, but it
You just got
happened
Thomas
yesterday.
Drake money and just buy another $50 Vespa.
It happened yesterday. I haven't had a chance. Look, we're going off topic here.
Just buy something better than a Vespa. We're not really going
So
off topic
anything.
because where do you want to take this?
Well, anywhere outside the base was good, but I mean, as you said, this is a crime. We can't leave it here, or it might disappear if somebody comes back for it.
Why don't... Here's the thing. Why don't we just have Soviet go before the Magic Council and say, hey, you know our base that a magic guy was in that had some orphan souls in it? Well, we found this weird cult stuff and we don't know what to do with it.
I mean, that could work. You just feign ignorance. It's like we don't know what these books
Memory
are.
check.
I don't want to end
So
up in
we-
that maze again.
Net 20.
You remember every time you told a lie, they knew.
Oh, if I was in that, they had that circle.
No, but
of the
I said
things.
to say we found some cult stuff and don't know what to do with it. And that isn't 100% true.
Yeah, and then when they say,
Follow up
any
question.
questions whatsoever, she's fucked.
So I've not been permitted to answer that question.
And how well do you think that's going to go down?
You'll end up in like the maze or something worse.
You could always wish for it all to go away.
Just fuck off with your wishes!
Black Knight, do you mind if I talk to you privately about something?
Yeah, no problem. You guys can stay here. But I'll be putting this bomb in the computer.
Okay, so what I'm about to tell you has to stay super duper secret, and you can't tell anybody else.
We can
Unless
still
the fate
hear
of
you.
the world is.
I will seal the door and turn off all communications from the suit, other than like in person. What could it possibly be?
I will relay to him the gist, without too many specifics, of the story that Anthony Spire told.
You're Sovieting us? Well, no,
That was
actually,
important.
to be fair, Sovieting is blurting out something accidentally. So that's. Wait.
It's especially I'm especially telling him because of the whole Anthony Spire did the same thing that you did.
But with technology instead of magic.
Yeah.
And it didn't work anywhere near as well.
Yeah, but what I did broke time. So he did it as well.
Oh, dick.
Well, it did cost him his wife and a bunch of other people he hasn't mentioned yet.
He made a machine better than mine.
What do you want me to do with this information? Hey, I'll go into work. Hey,
Hey,
Smar.
dude.
So I read this great book today,
Uh-huh.
Circle of Kings. Interesting read.
Finger guns. Want to join my secret conspiracy plot to overthrow them?
Rachel,
Yes.
kill him at lunch.
It's more likely.
'Cause I'll just be like,
real
well-
gun.
Also, real gun.
Non-crippled limbs.
He's got two.
Kimbo doesn't make you better. I only need one shot.
And he can dodge effectively, and you can't.
You can do a commando roll and nearly beat him.
I was just telling you because he's somebody who we know is actively fighting and is part of a secret organization to help actively fighting against these Edomites.
Is he part of a secret
I mean,
organization?
his company equipped a bunch of you guys in the future.
Yeah. But, like, everyone worked together in the
sure,
future,
yeah.
right? Like... Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
He's also.
I mean, all except for the Democrats.
He's also looking for more information in order
They
to
still
help
insisted the Quithothic realm won the popular vote.
to help stop them
And
and, also
it
maybe
needs
get
to be
his wife
invaded and
back.
harnessed for energy.
Well, we can't get his wife
That's
back.
what Argent was doing.
The only one of us who could have helped get his wife back was Simon.
Because they have to get her.
Because he has to get her mind.
Yes.
If-
But I only learned about this literally 2 nights ago.
Oh, so that's what you're talking about. Okay. So,
I know, we totally had sex.
No.
No, I don't say that.
Oh, so you're not going to out yourself?
No.
Just everyone else around you.
Bitch.
So, the problem is that I can act on this information and attempt to make communication with Smar. But then I would be doing that thing you get annoyed at me for doing, which is acting independently. So you want me to take this secret that only you and I have, that is no one else's to have, and not tell anyone why we're doing a bunch of things. No, I'm fine to do this.
But
Yeah.
it makes you a hypocrite.
I still wanted to talk to. I haven't talked to him since I did want to talk to him about
someone else.
how much
They only
he
told
wants
one
me to.
person.
I was hoping next time I'd see him to see how much he was willing to let me tell other people, but then this came up, and this could be important.
I can only imagine that right now in your head you're like, so I know who I'm telling none of my secrets.
Yeah.
Because she will just blab it to the first person because
To be fair,
because her
the thing
book
happened.
club brought
The
it
only
up.
reason I told him is because they share that same common.
what did you tell him about us then?
I gave no names,
Except one.
and I haven't told him about anything about even like Black Knight coming from another time, but it did ring very familiar alarm bells when he told me about it. That's what made it believable when he told me, because if I hadn't heard that you'd done the same thing, I might have thought he's crazy. But when it had those parallels with you, I'm like, well, I've heard about this before.
I mean, it's still pretty crazy to replicate what I did with technology on what sounds like a similar timescale. Is ridiculous.
I mean, the device was already pre-built. He'd been working on it for years, but because time travel, who doesn't want to do that? But you know, desperation.
I mean, the only reason I told you this is because I thought it might be very pertinent and crucial, given what we're dealing with right now.
I don't think Smar can help us with this, though. Unless he has a way to contain Edomite fire. Which, I guess you could show up to his apartment and say, "Hey Anthony, I found some Edomite fire in a box and I don't know what to do with it."
No, but I was thinking
Well-
if anybody might be able to make use of and know what these books are,
Curse.
it's him.
Meanwhile, cut to.
Could Chris just like use the bar?
Are the translate is the book alive?
No,
No, stop asking.
but the
It
words
needs the
written in
energy,
it
right? It
are.
is just energy.
Mm. Do they
We'd
move?
be getting a favor from him.
Well, they were written in living blood, and the blood is still alive.
I mean, we could just take it all to Curse. But considering that he gets annoyed at us dumping our problems on him anyway, even when we've done actually nothing, I don't see how well that'll go. Also, he keeps, like, telling me to leave.
Get Soviet to take it in there. She's due.
No, I'm not going in there. I've been told to never go in there again.
He's told me like 4 times now.
He's never told me.
And you are... Oh, no, you have a house.
Do the books react with closer proximity to the flame?
I went in there the first time and was told
It
to
causes
leave.
the words to change.
And then one time I accidentally went in there without realizing it, and I got hurled across the street into a brick wall.
So now you can read them.
Oh! Got it!
They what?
As your eyes go over the words, you hear
communicators
them in
disabled.
your head. Yeah, they're rituals and prayers to basically get in communion with your great masters. You feel the book, it requiring a will check from you to not be indoctrinated.
Any visible or audible cues
That's
to
double
describe to
digits.
her?
That's going to be good. Right?
13. And I'm calling out the fact that you told me 13 was a magic number and is essentially a crit for her.
Alright.
Yes!
Well, that's never going to work again. No, that was a good call because the book can literally just
Make you a cultist.
write into your mind these things.
Oh,
Reading the book. Because the words are living. They imprint themselves into you like they're your own thoughts.
So Goodman totally read that book.
I mean, completely.
Because he was
She
cheating.
can deduce
Insane.
that's probably what
Because he had
happened
the
to
fire
Dr.
And he
Goodman.
showed
in
it to
him.
Aegis.
He had the fire in him.
He was
Yeah.
so kind of insane, wasn't he? So it would have been easier to take him over.
And therefore, you could also feel, because you're magically inclined and you got your 1 time 13, that's also probably granted him some inherent powers
Like
from the book.
illusion and-
You don't really want to go looking through it again because now you know what it does.
Yep. Okay, so that's probably how he taught himself. Okay.
Don't
Of course, these two aren't there yet, so...
So just, don't open it, don't read it.
Don't
leave
look at
these.
it.
These, far away from that.
I don't even like the world powers, man.
What if we just throw it into the alley? Like the box of fire.
Just this glass jarish.
Like not a little catapult.
A trebuchet.
No.
That
This
was-
just
that
in
was-
Black Knight
that was a
hurls-
joke.
hurls
This
purple
is how we
fire
get
over
the
city
ring
and
of
failed
magic.
tragedy accident.
Magic. Disturbance.
What? That doesn't work anymore. That shouldn't be.
There's a distortion on the wall. About an oval shape. About the height of a big beefy dude.
Skinwalker?
I can see it too.
Tendrils come through.
Spirit of the
fabric.
buffalo. Get buff.
Okay. Try and put a ward in front of it just to hold it back. Get everyone else, get everyone else, get everyone else. No, they go, get them.
I run. I have no idea where they've gone.
You saw the room we went into.
Yeah,
you
a
just
couple
said-
of rooms over or
Okay.
something.
Why did you call me here?
Smash, smash, smash on the wall. Big buffalo fist.
You hear a gonging
I
ring.
think there's trouble.
And you, as you're
Hey, what's
delicately putting the bomb, you go, "Whoop! Oh, it's broken forever! Oh, damn, at least it didn't blow up."
I'll put comms back on.
What's the problem?
Something's
Someone's-
coming through the wall.
Okay. Oh. Oh, hey, Curse.
Why did you call me here, boy?
I mean, we didn't do it intentionally.
Oh,
we were
it's
just
curse.
thinking about how we could get rid of all of this stuff we found.
Actually, you don't know yet, but this might be a good time for you to interrupt.
Hi.
Hey, in the middle of something.
Someone has read the sacred texts of the 5 Kings.
Just the first couple of pages, I kind of.
Would you just read them?
But you can read them?
Look, if you
thought you couldn't
hold
read
them
them.
really close to the fire,
Don't
they
hold
become.
them close to the fire, then.
Fire.
Yes.
The inside, the fire containing thing goes dwindle, 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 gone.
That's
Thank
that
you.
problem dealt with.
Okay.
Take the book.
Can you take all of the human pieces in the room, too?
I really shouldn't. But okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, he will consume them.
Help yourself to anything else evil.
You just want to curse inside you.
She wants to be inside Curse.
Of the feminine era.
How did you call him here?
Thank you.
So
So he's like finished doing that, and now he's just like leaning right next to your like armpit, going.
Hello. What are you doing?
do you have any idea?
You've been ill.
Oh, you mean the
I've been killing those things all night.
Oh,
Did you get all of them?
thank you.
How would I know? Well, my work here is done.
Do you know how we get? Do you know how we get rid of that? It self-replicates, so the empty syringes are now full syringes.
You have more of it.
Yes.
The kings granted me a limited amount of power, but I can get it back by consuming their works.
Do you want us to tell you where the guy who made this is? I will tell him where Dr. Goodman's base is.
Did that just solve itself?
Wow.
I don't actually tell you.
So the TV's your morning TV is going to be filled with the news of a huge explosion opposite the steam plant, causing a huge column of bright light, which formed a cross in cruciform style.
Purple
Just
light.
Yes.
That's a strange one.
Exploding upwards. Sometime early this morning, at around about 8 o'clock, a huge weird uniform explosion obliterated the Goodman chemical laboratories
Of course, the crap couldn't find that.
opposite. It had the subtitle logo like, "It's good, man."
It's an all-natural vape store.
No, that's not a thing. It was basically like a chemical plant, a little chemical storage and that sort of thing.
Well, that problem seems to be resolved. Resolved.
There's only one way to stop Labor's taxes.
Kill them.